Hello and welcome to this clip looking at two structured titrations questions dealing with moles in solution. The first question is about sodium carbonate being titrated with hydrochloric acid. So it gives you some information on what happens when the student is given the hydrochloric acid and the sodium carbonate. It gives you some data as well, and they want you to calculate the number of moles of sodium carbonate used in each titration. So when you're doing titration and moles and solutions type work, the number of moles is always concentration times volume. So that sentence that I've highlighted in blue gives you everything you need to know. So you literally need to multiply the concentration given by the volume divided by 1000. Obviously you need to convert into decimeters cubed, and then that gives you 0.001875. I'm just using my calculator value there so you can see it. So that goes in as your first answer. The next part wants you to write a chemical equation for the reaction between hydrochloric acid and sodium carbonate. There's a bit of recall required here. You need to remember that acids and carbonates react to make a salt plus carbon dioxide plus water. So you'll see that this isn't balanced, obviously, if you look closely. And what I've done is I've left some space in front of some of the species, just in case my balancing numbers need to be put in. So first thing is, where did this 2 come from? Well, it's 2 sodiums because the carbonate ion has a double negative charge and sodium ions have a single positive charge. So this goes right back to your ions and the charges that come with them. So therefore you need 2 sodiums on the right hand side to balance them. This now means you need 2 chlorines on the left hand side, which means you have to balance by putting HCl and a 2 in front of it. So the next thing to do is to use that chemical equation and my answer from part A to calculate the number of moles of hydrochloric acid in the average titer. So just going back to our answer from part A earlier, looking at the equation, you can see that the number of moles of HCl is twice the number of moles of sodium carbonate. So therefore you take the number 0.001875 and you simply double it, and that gives you 0.00375. So then they want you to use that answer to calculate the concentration of the hydrochloric acid solution and give your answer to 3 significant figures. So we'll need to go back and take the average titer of the hydrochloric acid from earlier in the question and our answer that we've just calculated. So we're going to rearrange the N equals C times V equation so that C is the subject, so the concentration of HCl is what they want. So it's our 0.00375 divided by 26.50 over 1000, and that gives you 0.142. Now the calculator value is actually a lot longer than that, but what I've done is I've gone to the 4th number, so after the 3rd significant figure you round up because the 4th number happens to be 5, so that's where 0.142 came from. So going on to the second question. This one is sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid, and it's got a water of crystallization section that I've included at the end. So this time round, it gives you again some information about what the student's done and the data that goes with it and the equation. So that part of the question right up at the top where I've highlighted in blue gives you everything you need to know to work out the number of moles of sodium hydroxide using the same technique as before, and that gives you 0.0022. Now, notice that they say determine, not calculate, the amount in moles of H2SO4. So we can get this determination from the fact that there's a 1 to 2 mole ratio in the equation between H2SO4 and NaOH. So therefore, the number of moles of NaOH that we've worked out just needs to be divided by 2. And that's very easily done in your head to make 0.0011. So then finally, they want the concentration in moles per decimeter cubed of the sulfuric acid. So going back to the question, the information that's needed this time, it tells you that the student finds that 25 centimeter cubed of 0.0880 moles per decimeter cubed of aqueous sodium hydroxide is neutralized by 17.60 centimeters cubed of dilute sulfuric acid. Now we've also worked out already the number of moles of H2SO4 that we've used, so that plus the volume of sulfuric acid that they've provided will allow us to work out the answer here. So that gives us 0.0625. Okay, this is the water of crystallization section. The first part, it asks you what is the term given to the XH2O part of the formula. Specifically, that's the water of crystallization. It's not just the moles of water present, it's not just the waters that are present, it has to be water of crystallization because those particular moles of water are actually responsible for the formation of the three-dimensional crystal structure of the hydrated version of the salt, which will be this part here. So then it says using the molar mass of the crystals which they provided and to calculate the value of X. So essentially, thinking about this, the whole thing is 322.1 grams per mole. If you want to work out the molar mass of the anhydrous version, in other words, just the actual sodium sulfate without the XH2O, you simply add up all of the individual relative atomic masses which you can get from the periodic table, and that gives us 142.1. So the difference between those two is going to be the amount of water of crystallization. So that's 180.0 grams per mole for that particular number of moles of water. To work out the number of moles of water, you take that and you divide it by 18.0 grams per mole, which is the molar mass of water, obviously. And then that gives you 10 as the answer. Okay, hopefully this has been a useful look at a couple of titration examples, plus what it might be like if they put in a water of crystallization question at the end. Okay, thank you for listening. Until next time, see you soon.